Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nadine, and in today's video I'll be listing the 10 highest paid midwifery professions. I'll be starting with number 10, which will be the lowest, and making my way up to the highest, which will be at number 1. I'll be giving you guys the salary, a brief description about the job itself, and giving you guys all the necessary details about the highest paid midwifery professions, and giving you guys all the necessary details that you need. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So at number 10 we have the maternity support worker. So a maternity support worker earns an average of 18 to 24k a year. So a maternity support worker works at either a band 2 or a band 3 depending on experience and how long they've been working at their job. And a maternity support worker basically assists the midwives and other healthcare professionals when working within the maternity department. So some of the duties of a maternity support worker is basically taking the basic routine observations such as temperature, blood pressure, pulse and saturation, and making sure that they are recorded correctly on the charts, or any observations that they need to do, making sure that they are correctly documented. They are also trained in taking blood samples or other samples that need to be taken from mums or babies. They also help promote breastfeeding, support women with breastfeeding, and they just basically care for the mums and babies and assist midwives in other tasks that they are able to do. So maternity support workers do not have to go to university or have a degree in order for them to become an MSW. So most maternity support workers work at either a band 2 or a band 3 depending on the experience and the training that they have gained while working as a maternity support worker. So that is number 10. So number 10 is maternity support worker, and they earn an average of 18 to 24k a year depending on experience, location, and also how they are trained and what they do in terms of the job itself. So maternity support workers also work within the community, within the hospital, either on labour ward, postnatal ward, antenatal ward, or in clinics. They basically work wherever a midwife will work, and wherever the midwife needs assistance, you will have a maternity support worker. So job number 9 will be your band 5 midwife. So your band 5 midwife will be your preceptorship midwife. A midwife that has just finished their degree and qualified as a registered midwife will go on to a preceptorship program and become a preceptee midwife. So the average salary of a preceptee midwife here in the UK is 25 to 30k a year. So depending on the hospital or the location you're in, you will start on an average of 25 to 30k a year. So I've seen some hospitals here in London advertise for a band 5 preceptorship midwife at a 25k starting salary, and I've also seen some other hospitals here in the UK or in London advertising for a 27 or a 30k band 5 midwife. So it all depends on the hospital and the location. So a band 5 midwife who is on the preceptorship program basically is undertaking all the necessary skills that they need in order for them to become a band 6 midwife. So they're doing all their competencies, they're doing all their IVs, they're doing all their medication, they're doing their cannulation, they're doing their suturing, and they're basically rotating in all the different areas, building up on their knowledge, on their skills and their competencies in order for them to become a band 6 midwife. If you would like more details about the preceptorship program and what is a preceptorship program, I have done a video on this, so be sure to check it out. I'll leave it in the description box below, and it'll also be up here on the screen as well, so be sure to go check out the preceptorship video that I have recently created. But at number 9 we have the band 5 midwife, who is a preceptorship midwife earning roughly between 25 to 30k a year. So job number 8 is your band 6 midwife. So your band 6 midwife is your newly qualified midwife that has just finished your preceptorship program, and also your band 6 midwife that is not junior but still in the middle, has been working for about 5 years or so, and they are on a band 6 paying scale, and they earn roughly an average of 31k to up to 36k a year. And their role is basically the same as any other midwife. They basically work in the community, antenatal ward, postnatal ward, labour ward, and they basically care for these mums and babies in whatever department that they're working in within maternity. So the band 6 midwife earns about 31 to 36k a year depending on experience, how long they've been working for, also depending on hospital and location. So the next profession is the NHS midwife. You're probably thinking, what do you mean by the NHS midwife? Aren't they all NHS midwives? But no, there are different categories and different types of midwife depending on where you work and how long you've been working for. So the NHS midwives earn a rough estimate of 37k a year. So these midwives have been working for such a long time. They are not a band 7 and they are not junior, so they're basically like in between. So they earn a rough estimate of 37k a year, and this also depends on the hospital, location, and how long you've been working under the NHS as a qualified midwife. So the next job is the private hospital midwife. So a private hospital midwife doesn't work within the NHS. They don't work in the community within the NHS. They don't work on the wards within the NHS. They work for private companies, and they are midwives for private companies only. So private company midwives earn an average of 39k a year. So this all depends on the private company itself, the location, and how many years or how long they've been working as a midwife and the experience that they've gained. But a private midwife working for a private company will earn an average of 39k a year. They'll basically be doing the same job as any other midwife working in the NHS or working in other hospitals, but because they are under the umbrella of a private company, they earn so much more. They earn a rough estimate of 39k a year. So the next job, the next midwife that gets paid a lot of money within the NHS or within the private sector is a senior midwife. If your badge says senior midwife and then it says your name, then you get paid an average of 41k a year. So senior midwives have a lot of experience. They can also coordinate shifts, they can also do management, they can do supervisions, but a senior midwife could be earning an average of 41k a year because of their experience and how long they've been working as a midwife. And these senior midwives are seen as more experienced, they have more training, they do supervisions for newly qualified midwives, they train other midwives, they coordinate shifts, they manage shifts, they run shifts. They are more senior midwives, so they get paid an average of 41k a year. So the next job or the next type of midwife that earns a lot of money is the band 7 midwives. So the band 7 midwives could be your safeguarding midwives, your bereavement midwives, your breastfeeding coordinators, your CPFs, which is the midwives that look after students, your clinical research midwife, your patient safety midwife, your coordinators, your ward managers. So band 7 midwives, there's a wide range of specialities and a wide range of roles that a band 7 can actually undertake, but your band 7 midwives can get paid an average of 41 to 47k a year depending on experience, location, hospital, and the department you work for. So like I said, your band 7 midwife could be CPF, could be safeguarding midwife, could be your bereavement midwife, could be your birth center specialist midwife, could be your diabetes specialist midwife, it could be your research midwife, you could be your IT midwife. There's so many roles within the band 7 midwife bracket and specialities, and they earn an average of 41 to 47k a year. So the next profession or the next band of midwives that earn a lot of money is your band 8 midwives. So your band 8 midwives could be your matrons of the ward, so the matrons of the antenatal ward or the postnatal ward, the matron of the labor ward, and also some hospitals have CPFs that are paid at a band 8 level, but also some CPFs are also paid at a band 7 depending on the hospital. The hospital that I work in, the CPFs are paid at a band 8 paying scale, but like I said, this also depends on your experience, your location, definitely the hospital you work in, but the average pay for a band 8 midwife is 61k a year, and that is a lot of money. So the next job is the consultant midwife. So the consultant midwife, they do a number of things. So they work with the women and the family, they support their colleagues, the midwives that are on the floor or in clinical, they liaise with the midwifery director or the head of midwifery. They also work alongside the doctors and other consultants within the hospital. So they do a lot of things in terms of educating, planning, and making sure that everything within maternity is up to date and people know what they're doing, and also educating and advising women and their family in terms of their birthing options and what service we provide. So the average salary of a consultant midwife is 63k a year, and also this differs between the trust, the hospital, and the location, but the average salary of the consultant midwife is 63k a year. So at number 1 and the highest paid midwifery profession profession or midwifery job is the director of midwifery. So the director of midwifery gets paid an average of 100k a year. So the director of midwifery is basically the person at the top, the one running the show, the one that everyone needs to go to if they have any problems or any issues, if there's anything going wrong within maternity, if there's anything that needs to be brought within the maternity in terms of equipment, if the staff needs support and they can't get any support from the managers or matrons, they have to go all the way to the top to the director of midwifery. So the director of midwifery gets paid an average of 100k a year, and this can be more depending on the hospital, the location. If it's either in London or outside London, this can be more, but the average is 100k a year. And they're basically the big boss. They're at the top. They basically oversee everything within maternity. They liaise with the consultant midwife, they liaise with the matrons. So the director of midwife, they do a lot of things in terms of supporting the staff within the maternity department, within all the departments within maternity, and they basically make sure that everything and the whole show is running smoothly. And if there's any areas within maternity that needs improving, or if there's anything that needs to be updated, if we need extra midwives, if we need extra equipment, anything that needs to be improved within the maternity world or the maternity field, the director of midwifery is the one that makes sure all the changes that are needed in order for the maternity world to survive and to thrive and to be successful. They are the ones in charge and basically making sure that everything runs smoothly within the maternity department. So the director of midwifery earns an average of 100k a year, and this differs depending on the experience of the person, the hospital they work in, the location. They could even earn a lot more than 100k a year, but the highest paying job within the maternity field is the director of midwifery. So that is it for today's video. I hope this video was insightful for you guys, and I hope that I have delivered and shared with you enough information as I possibly can about the highest paid midwifery professions and all the different salaries for each of the jobs or each of the professions within the midwifery world. So I'll be back with more videos such as this one, talking about salary, talking about the different careers, talking about the career progressions and things like that. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video, hopefully, which will be soon. So until then, bye for now, and see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.